Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Stevecast. I am Steve, joined as usual by Rachel
Hello!
and absolutely no one else. Everyone bailed on us. We've
We
severed
tried.
friendships. We tried. It's been we've been somewhat frequently still uploading Stevecast, but they're all old stuff that we recorded long ago. It's actually been like 4 or 5 months since we actually
Yeah,
recorded one, so
yeah,
we're probably out of practice if you can't tell.
yeah.
But this is kind of a test. If Rachel and I show that we can carry the workload, just the two of us, then we don't have to worry about third wheels not joining. And
No.
if we suck, then we are dependent on outside help for the two of us.
I really thought we would be a hotter ticket than we are. You know what I mean? Like, I thought when we opened up the gates to allow others in, people would jump at the chance, and everyone was just like, "Ugh, it's funny. I gotta go with what time of the bye."
Yeah, I think we had a lot of interest, like when the show was doing good on
Mhm.
YouTube. Now that we're getting like 6 views, no one cares but us.
Ironically, this is actually when you want to be in because you don't really want the things that we say to be broadcast and seen on the internet. So it's better to, like when it's an underground vibe, I think.
Yeah, so we
Hmm.
we do heavily edit these for all of the offensive things that Rachel says. Uh,
Lies,
Rachel
slander.
claims to have Stevecast amnesia, and maybe one day I'll release like a supercut of the things that I have removed from other episodes. But
I'm
we'll see.
terrified.
No promises.
I genuinely don't remember. I also is alcohol in my defense.
Yeah, it's good that you don't remember because you would be horrified in yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Steve Cast, we watch movies on this stupid show. So tonight we are watching a movie called Highway to Hell from 1991. Now I have seen this movie before, but
Break
not
from
since it
format.
came out. So it's been at least 30 years since I've watched this movie. I was 8, possibly 9 when it first came out, and so I've got three memories of this movie. One is there is a demon cop. So, liberals just call them cops. Uh, there
Hey,
is some
Cad, all cops are demons.
there is some sort of like maybe Medusa-esque reptilian woman. So conservatives just call them women. And
Jesus Christ.
the third memory really has nothing to do with the movie at all. It's more of a personal memory. So I was either 8 or 9 when this movie came out, and at the time I was certainly not allowed to curse at all. And so if I saw this movie coming on TV and I wanted to watch it, I had to refer to it as Highway to Heck. So, question for Rachel: at what age did it become okay for you to curse around adults?
Ooh. You know what? Like, I think my parents tried to enforce it when I was a kid, but by 12, they had given up hope. I mean, you've heard how I speak.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. Like, I probably didn't really start laying into the f bombs until my late teen years. But there was never a point where I was allowed so
Yeah.
much as there was a point where the adults knew they couldn't do anything to
The
stop it.
enforcing stopped. Yeah.
Yes,
The
so,
approval never came, but the enforcing stopped.
yes. I believe there's a lot of violence and a lot of sexual situations in this movie.
Mm.
So that was
Is
fine. I could watch that as much as I want, but God forbid I said hell in front of my dad, who when I'm 9 years old at the time.
that
And
like
that's
a
just the way
southern
it works.
thing? Is that like just a southern thing? You have to be a southern gentleman and southern gentlemen don't swear?
No, I think it was just adults. There's always a point in time where I assume parents don't want to hear their kids dropping f bombs and saying shit and every fucking hell and everything else. And at some point they lose that power over us. And but
There's
when this movie came out, that power was very much in effect.
there are many reasons why I should not have children, including passing on these genetics, but also because I think it's hilarious when children swear.
Right? Yeah. It's
I
like
wouldn't be able to discipline them. I'd be laughing.
It's like the one good thing that children do is sometimes they'll drop an f bomb
And
unexpectedly, and
it's
it's funny.
hilarious.
It's like every other part of children is like all downsides, but that is good. It's funny when kids cuss.
Yeah.
Parents disagree when you're like 8.
Yep.
Uh, Anyways, Rachel, have you ever heard of this movie before? Have you
Never heard of
done any
this.
sort of research whatsoever?
Nope. Like to go in as
Uh,
cold as possible.
okay, well, I'm going to give you the one sentence description from Tubi. Of course, everything we
Okay.
watch is on Tubi.
Of
This is
course.
1991, hour and 33 minutes. It is labeled a horror movie. A couple's honeymoon comes to an abrupt end when the bride is abducted by a demon cop from hell, and the groom has just 24 hours to rescue her.
I mean, it
Uh,
sounds awesome.
I hope it is. 9-year-old Steve loved this movie, and the box art. I'm sure the box art will make an appearance in the video and in post at some point. But the box art is awesome. It's a picture of this
Ooh.
dude and a wife beater holding a shotgun. Christy Swanson, who is the only person I recognize from the cast, is
Oh,
like holding his leg in like the Star Wars poster pose. Highway to Hell, and then this giant like Satan head like turned sideways on the top. So
yeah.
I'm expecting good things from this movie. And even if it sucks, we're going to be drunk. I am drinking tonight. I assume Rachel is as well. Uh, so I went to the liquor store today, yeah, and I got some like a shooter of some sort of berry flavored rum.
That
Uh,
better not be the only thing you're
oh
drinking
no,
tonight.
this
Okay.
cooler.
Oh, oh.
I've got some cherry vanilla Captain Morgan, various mixers. Now I was looking for orange vanilla Captain Morgan and couldn't find it, and that is
Ah.
very disappointing because that is the best.
That brings
But
back memories because that is the one time that we've gotten drunk together IRL.
yes,
That would like played a pivotal role.
it's so good. I hate the taste of alcohol, so if I'm
Hmm.
going to drink, I am going to drink things that taste like candy. So I've got cherry vanilla Captain Morgan, some lime juice, like some raspberry soda of some sort. I got my glass over here ready to go.
I
I
enjoy
have
you are quite the mixologist.
okay. Well, I
You-
have a Golden Girls shot glass so I can
Wait,
measure out.
which is that? Oh, okay. All right. Is that the Golden Girl you most Rose? Is that the one you identify with most?
This is the Golden Girl shot glass that was most in the reach of my girlfriend because I've never watched the Golden Girls.
Well, I know what our spinoff show is going to be. Rachel and Steve watched the Golden Girls from the start.
Oh, yes, fantastic. I am going to take my little shooter here,
Okay.
and I think we are ready
Well,
to
thank you
start.
for asking, Steve. I will be
Oh,
drinking
shit.
a little bit of your favorite drink again, one that played a pivotal role in the night we got drunk together, which is Casamigos Mezcal. And I will be, because I'm fancy, normally I drink it with a Coke Zero. Today, ooh, the level is going up. I will be enjoying a cherry vanilla Coke Zero with
Oh,
my mezcal.
so you should mix it with a cherry vanilla Captain Morgan.
Hmm.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. See,
See, I
that's the thing is there is
is
a limit to where like my body will be like, oh, this is alcohol, stop drinking it. Whereas yours is just gonna be like, that's a liquid Jolly
yeah.
Rancher. Keep going.
Every Stevecast that I get tanked on, the next morning I'm completely fine. Like I have a mostly pristine liver. I have several friends that I'm gonna have to cut off a little slice for them in the future for transplants.
Where's the line form?
Behind you.
Yes. Number
So see, I
one.
I didn't ask you what you were drinking because it's always the mezcal. You gotta diversify without not the
I
mixer.
did cherry. Oh,
No,
not the mixer?
mixer doesn't count. No, you gotta diversify on the base.
All right. Well, what as someone who doesn't as necessarily like super sweet alcohol, what do you want me to drink next time? Vodka? I do like espresso martinis and get completely caffeinated out of my mind.
I don't understand what any of those words you just said mean. So I'm going to leave your alcohol. I'm going to put your alcohol decisions back in your hands because I don't want to be a part
You're
of the
not
damage that
qualified,
you're doing.
okay?
I am not. But let's do it. I am ready to start. You got the movie pulled up on your end.
I
Uh,
do.
let's watch the first 15 minutes of Highway to Hell. Feel free to join us in this journey, and we will talk to each other again in 15 minutes.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's do it.
We're back! Minutes 0 to 15 of Highway to Hell in 1991. I feel like not a lot happened, but at the same time, I am really into this. Like what
Riveted.
little bit did happen
Riveted.
was super cool. Like we see dude guy whose name I don't know yet. I don't know anyone's name from this movie yet, but he is dating the main character
Lesser
guy.
Low. He's the Lesser Low brother.
Okay, Lesser Low brother. So LLB is dating Christy Swanson, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
OGB.
Yep. So they are together. They're at some like highway diner. And LLB is like super concerned that this cop who's playing a video game is staring at them. And, like, we don't know, like, did they commit a crime? Is he just being paranoid? Like, I don't know why he's so worried about the cop at this point, but he is worried. They finish their meal. They get back into their Ford Pinto, which apparently was also...
She's rocking a 49ers hat, so I'm guessing they're Bay Area, so I think like big Antifa vibes. I think LLB is definitely Antifa.
All right, well, LLB is definitely Antifa.
So that's why he's not down with the cop, right? That's why he's like, ACAD, all cops are demons.
Well, he turns out to be right pretty soon here, because he and Christy Swanson, the original Buffy, are driving his Ford Pinto pizza delivery car, because he's got this big slice of pizza thing like up on the top of the car. And they are driving to Vegas, I assume to get... Are they driving to Vegas or away from Vegas? I'm not even entirely sure at this point, but Vegas came up. And so they're either on the way to Vegas or away from Vegas. But
I assume Vegas for marriage for boot knocking reasons, because she is not giving it up in the Pinto.
Yeah, he tries to put the moves on her in his Ford Pinto Pizza Mobile, and she's a little into it, but not into it enough. And so she tells him, stop, and he respects her wishes. So they stop and they get back on the road.
Enthusiastic consent, people. Enthusiastic consent. We are pro-enthusiastic consent on this podcast.
If it's not enthusiastic, yes, it's a no. And so they stop at like a gas station where they get gas, but also their car is breaking down. And immediately we see a breaking of gender roles, because Buffy opens up the hood of the car like she actually knows how car parts work, which is a skill that I don't have. I know nothing about automobiles. But there's this old man who runs the gas station that, Rachel, you are familiar with this guy? If I remember that correctly?
Yes, he was Uncle Matthew, Anne of Green Gables. One of like my earliest heartbreaks is watching him have a heart attack in the field. Yeah. It's weird to see him in something else, because he's so, like there's some actors that you like identify with one role, and so when you see them as other people, it feels like, ooh, there's a glitch in the like Matrix or something. It was a little of that. Like when he was playing the Harbinger archetype in this, I was like,
so what year was that? Was this before? Was Highway to Hell before or after this other show that you watched?
I would say it's like pretty concurrent. I can do some Googling. Okay. I'm guessing like 89 maybe for Anna.
All right, so he was probably like filming this PBS show, Anna Green Gables, whatever, while Highway to Hell was
Steve
in pre-production.
Acting like he doesn't know, like he isn't like trying to be my bosom friend all the time. Come on.
Anyways, they get back in the car and they drive off, but this old man, Uncle Matthew or whatever, is telling them like, hey, watch out on the road. Make sure you don't fall asleep before this very specific point in the road. I think he makes mention of like some magical tree or something, but I'm not entirely sure. Ultimately, his advice is not heeded, because Buffy immediately falls asleep, and she falls asleep while LLB is trying to like...
She's exhausted from resisting his sweet moves. It's tiring to say no to lesser Rob Lowe brother.
Oh, that poor guy. Like, how much must it suck for like your sibling to be like this incredibly amazing sex symbol? I mean, Rob Lowe was doing Rob Lowe things. I have one sibling.
Are you the hot sibling or the less hot sibling?
I'm going to assume I'm the less hot sibling. But you know
that
what?
I've never false modesty. Are you the hot sibling?
I've never ranked myself and my brother. I will leave that to the ladies in the crowd, like the three that have ever seen me and my little brother side by side.
Steve's the hot sibling. You can tell the false modesty. He's definitely
no comment. They fall asleep. Buffy falls asleep first while LLB is pouring his heart out to her, and then he begins falling asleep. And they pay attention to like this very specific like tree off to the side of the road. So I assumed that was That was the tree or the marker that the old man was talking about. But he falls asleep and loses control, and so he almost crashes his car. He like starts fishtailing and stops in the middle of the road, and this cop comes out of nowhere and stops them. And the LLB is like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, where did this cop come from? But the cop stops them. They get out, and the cop pulls Christy Swanson out of the car and handcuffs her. And we mean literally handcuffs her, because he has two disembodied hands connected by a chain, and he uses those to handcuff her. And it is awesome.
It
These
is actually
handcuffs are
awesome.
amazing.
Yes. I am confused because I'm so used to hating every second of the movies that we watch on this show. And I was like, is this is it too early to say this is the best thing we've ever watched on Stevecast?
It's the best start to a movie.
It's the best
by
first
far.
15 minutes,
it's
for sure.
It's probably helped by the fact that like the opening like 7 minutes of the movie are just credits that we skipped by, so they got to get to the action fast. They had to pad that runtime a little bit. The credits are like a welcome to Las Vegas like postcard with like names flying at the screen. But so Christy Swanson is kidnapped by this demon cop. This demon cop has like a pentagram on his shoulder for like instead of like a police emblem. His skin is like scarred. I couldn't read any of it, but it looks like words or runes are like etched into his skin. And so he handcuffs Christy Swanson with the literal handcuffs, puts her in a car in the back of his like armored police car, and then this red like laser wave scans across the car and removes the handle from the outside of the car, so no one can get into this car anymore.
It's a metaphor, Steve, for the system. Once you get booked into the system, there's no getting out.
The school to prison pipeline. This is a metaphor.
Ding, ding, ding.
So
topics.
Demon cop and Christy Swanson drive away while this cop car is just like bellowing flames out from its wheels and exhaust pipe. And then LLB wakes up. His dog is safe. There is a dog who is watching the action that he tried to get in the Ford Pinto, which is a little weird. But the dog wakes up LLB, and presumably LLB is about to go on a quest to rescue Buffy from this demon cop. And I believe that is where we are now stopped.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. This is honestly so much fun. This movie is great. Like, I would actually, I'm glad we're watching it together, and it's fun. But this is a movie that if I happened to like stumble upon it, I would feel like I had found a weird hidden gem. I mean, I understand we're like 15 minutes in. Maybe it's a little premature to say that. It can totally go left on me. But as of this minute, this movie is amazing. Why is no one talking about this movie?
Maybe the next hour and 15 minutes are going to let us down, but I have no idea. Like we haven't seen like the Medusa reptile lady yet. I think it's been a long time, but like memories are coming back. I think.
I hope this doesn't awaken something in me, Steve.
I'll cross my fingers for you. I believe that like this guy like literally goes to hell now to rescue Buffy, and like hell is depicted as just like this town full of monsters. I'm hoping that is what I see, because that sounds awesome. I think the demon cop is literally driving to hell, and now LLB, Pizza Boy, and Dog Companion are going to rescue Buffy.
Do you have any prediction? Or no, you've seen this before, so I guess
I've seen it, but I don't remember like hardly anything of it.
I feel like Rachel, by the way, the main character, the female main character is named Rachel, which has caused some confusion as we're recording. They keep saying Rachel, and then I think it's you talking to me, but it's not. It's just the movie.
This is one of like this is the first time that we've ever done a Stevecast on video. Who knows? Depending on video quality, who knows if this will make it to the air? But we are chatting with each other while the movie is ongoing, rather than the Discord. So we've had like a parallel conversation. And at various points, I apparently Rachel thinks I am a ventriloquist because I've got like, my straw in my mouth, and she's hearing Rachel, and she's like, Steve, what? Stop talking.
I'm watching the film as is the assignment. Thank you very much. And then at one point I thought you were like, I don't know, it was like, when kids are like, Mom, look at this. Like I thought you wanted me to watch you pound a drink, so I was like, I'm in. I'm supportive.
You've seen me drink before. You are not impressed by this cherry
Don't
juice
tell
that
me
happens
how
to
I
have
feel. I am very impressed by the way that you are putting that hummingbird food away. That is
This is
incredible.
really good, by the way. I've got like some lime juice, some raspberry ice that I should have put back in the cooler that I've got here. Like I brought all of my booze downstairs with me
I'm
because I am a
impressed.
professional. And
I'm
then what do we got
impressed.
down here?
It took
Oh,
me
where?
like 48
Oh,
hours
yeah.
to get you to drink with me last time, so I'm delighted by how we've like really I feel like we've really moved forward in our friendship, Stephen.
Well, I'm happy to help because I'm probably gonna have to pour another drink during the next 15 minutes, which I
Yes,
think we are
I
ready
also
for.
will be pouring my second drink.
Yes,
Definitely
Rachel,
my
definitely,
second
you
drink.
definitely didn't pregame for this.
I did not pregame, but I am at a sprint and I need to slow down and remember this is a marathon
No,
because
no marathon. We got to keep pace with the action of the movie, which
you're
is
right.
awesome so far.
You're right. You're making I mean, it's not that my judgment is clouded by alcohol, but you're making really great sense and you're making excellent points.
I'm glad you agree because I think we are ready for the next 15 minutes of Highway to Hell. Any final thoughts on the first 15 minutes?
I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping that Rachel, since we saw she does know her way around combustion engine, will maybe be a little bit more of a self-rescuing princess, but we'll see. We'll see. I understand
It's
Lesser
the
Low is on his way
90s.
to hell. And the era is not speaking in our favor, but I feel like she has a really exciting vest and an ability to, fix a car. Those all feel like skills that could lead to her being able to kind of at least somewhat undamsel and distress herself. But we'll see.
We'll see. Let's do it. Let's watch the next 15 minutes of Highway to Hell,
I can't
starting.
believe I'm actually excited to start this. Normally, I dread the next 15
And we were just
minutes.
talking about Tubi gave us some bangers for suggestions that look awesome. There's a few of those I haven't watched, and they might be upcoming on a Stevecast.
I feel like this Lou Diamond Phillips Route 666 looks like it has some Stevecast
I am
potential.
always up for a Lou Diamond Phillips movie.
Some LDP.
Yes. All right, let's do this. Let's
All right, let's
watch
do
this
it.
movie.
Let's do it. All right, I'm pressing play now.
Can you tell me the quickest way to hell?
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Oh shit! I didn't put the top back on my cooler.
No, it's bad. There it is. I heard it. The first giggle of the night.
I'm
We are the Giggle Squad. It's official. All right,
all
here
right.
we go.
I think
I'm making
I'm.
a very bad decision right now. I'm opening this up again.
Uh-oh. All right, let's. This movie is awesome, and it's time to talk about minutes
Like it's
15 to
awesome
30.
and not a drunk Steve Cast way. Like it's like
Legit, like we would.
It's legitimately
if we
awesome.
weren't drunk and watching this solo, we would still think that this movie was awesome.
yeah. Yeah.
So you were during the while we were watching the movie, you were pulling up IMDb. Do we know Lesser Low Brothers' actual name in this movie? Because I'm gonna continue to call him LLB.
I mean, I think we stick with LLB for his name is apparently oh wait. He's billed third. Brutal. His name is Royce, as in Rolls.
Royce?
But yeah.
No, he's LLB.
But he is actually billed third after Patrick Bergen, who we have not even seen yet, who is
I don't even
Beazle.
know who that is. Who's Patrick
And
Bergen?
he's the guy from Sleeping with the Enemy that I talked about.
All right, Rachel's dying, so I'm going to talk about the movie.
Sorry. And then Adam Stork is Royce, who we just saw is the leader of the gang. I'm gonna mute. I'm
All
trying.
right. Rachel is dying. All right. LLB goes back to Uncle Matt and asks him like, "What the hell is going on?" And Uncle Matt gives us the backstory, which is like 50 years ago, he was also on the road with his bride to be, going to Vegas to get married. But the demon cop, he fell asleep, and so like the demon cop attacked them and took his bride away. And so he, for the 50 years since, he has basically opened a rest stop to warn people about the dangers of falling asleep before the magic tree and having your bride arrested by Demon Cop. And so this guy, Uncle Matt, basically kits out LLB, gives him a a magic shotgun with magic shotgun shells and
I just realized magic shotgun shells, and then the butt of the gun has seashells.
Yeah, like the old man Matt, Uncle Matt was talking about how like his bride to be was like this amazing woman who could like make anything look amazing, and she like embedded these like silver shotgun shells, or silver clam shells onto the shotgun, and then he's got these magic shotgun shells, and then he gives LLB like this this really cool looking like old timey hot rod car. But most importantly, he gives him a teddy bear with a clock built into the stomach of it. This is apparently what I think a clock does.
Yeah, show me again. Show me the clock. How does the clock work?
He has a teddy bear clock. And so the teddy bear clock is set to 24 hours. It's like a timer. It's counting down.
Yeah.
LLB has 24 hours to get to Hell City, which is a thing that exists in this movie. Fucking Hell City. And so so LLB has got everything he needs. He's got the car, he's got the gun, he's got the magic shotgun shells, he's got the teddy bear clock. And so Uncle Matt sends LLB on his way, and he tells him that when you go out on the interstate, there are two roads. One of them you can see, one of them you can't see. And the one that you can't see is between these two like magic trees. And if you drive out in between the trees and you believe you are going to go to hell, you are going to go to hell.
Tinkerbell rules, but with more satanic.
And so LLB drives out. He's driving back and forth between these two mystical trees, and a cop pulls up behind him, and he thinks, "Okay, here, I'm going to do it." So this cop pulls him over, and it's just a normal cop though. And so LLB pulls this magic shotgun on the cop, and the cop's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die." But LLB doesn't want to pick a fight with the cop, and so he just drives off. And while he's being chased by,
although he does pull a shotgun on him and survives,
yes.
so
that's a certain type of privilege. Yeah, this guy pulled a shotgun on the cop and got to drive away. So the cop is in pursuit though, and while LLB is driving, he's like closing his eyes while driving, which is of course super smart. That's the thing intelligent people do, is close their eyes while driving. And he's like, I believe, and this like mystical time portal opens up in the road, and he drives through it and ends up in California, which in this movie is hell.
How dare you, sir? I mean, yes, I have seen the real estate prices, but how dare you?
And so meanwhile, like when LLB is arriving to hell, we see what the cop is doing, and I think Rachel is learning that I'm like a talker with my hands.
Steve gives good hand, okay? If you're not watching this, you're missing out.
The cop goes to this diner, and stop it, I can see you. In the diner are a bunch of like other cops that are like in various stages of decay. Like they're all basically like zombie undead cops, including Ben Stiller's dad. So this place is a diner called Pluto's Donuts, and so Demon Cop stops at Pluto's Donuts for some food, and like this like kind of undead zombified lady named Medea is like telling all of her stories of what's going on at the diner. But all of the other undead cops are like trying to play a prank on Demon Cop, which distracts him, and he kills Ben Stiller's. What happens when you kill someone in hell? I don't know. He shoots Ben Stiller's dad, who is in this movie, and And that instead of like it like blows a hole in his head, I think, and it like sucks him down this portal. Meanwhile, Buffy takes like a pot of like hot coffee and like pours it on her literal handcuffs, which react in pain and let her go.
There
And
is a small, like, that's a little bit of a loophole, right? Like, flesh handcuffs were dope and like weirdly kinky, but they're not as secure because also coffee.
Because the handcuffs feel pain apparently, and so she pours hot coffee onto her handcuffs, which let her go, and she runs into this like random like biker gang out in the hellscape that is California, and they like the main creepy guy, is the creepy guy Royce or is LLB
That's
Royce?
Royce. So that's Royce.
The leader of this biker gang is Royce. So what did we figure out what LLB's name is?
I forgot it, but yes, hold on.
Okay,
I think
well,
if I open my phone, it'll still be there. It is. Okay. LLB is Charlie Sykes.
No, he's LLB. Like LLB
Yeah.
is greater than Charlie, so he's going to be LLB for the rest of this.
Yeah.
So Royce is he's being skeezy towards Christy Swanson, and she's like asking for help.
He does not
'cause she
appreciate her power vest, as you have named it.
Yes, she's wearing a
Respect
power vest.
the power vest.
And she runs into Royce, and she's begging for help. Like, don't let him take me. Get me out
That
of
vest
here.
says, I know cars and cunnilingus. I'm just saying.
And in my head canon now, she applies those skills frequently. So she's asking for help from Royce, and Royce is like, "Oh, man, whatever the demon cop is going to do to you, I'm going to do to you twice as bad." And he's got a sword for some reason, but ultimately, like, demon cop walks up on them, and just hands Buffy back over to demon cop, who like re-arrests her and takes her away. Meanwhile, LLB, whose name I've already forgotten, so he's definitely LLB at this point. LLB runs into who Rachel tells me is Lita Ford, and she is a hitchhiker who is trying to get into LLB's new hot rod that he has, but she's trying to trick him because while she is chatting him up, this creepy like chef guy with gross teeth and an ice cream scoop attacks him, and he says, "I'm gonna scoop your brains," and then LLB's like, "Scoop this," and shoots him in the head with his magic awesome shotgun.
And it's
amazing.
amazing.
I think that is where we have stopped for now. And if you were listening to this and you're thinking, wow, Highway to Hell sounds amazing, you are correct.
You are correct.
This is awesome. Even if I wasn't drunk and talking to
Objectively
Rachel, I would
awesome.
think this movie was awesome.
Yes, and normally the movies we watch on here are horrendous, terrible abominations. This is I would watch this movie like on my own separately. I will recommend this movie to other humans. I prefer you watch it with our accompaniment, but like, it's just a good movie, and I'm not used to this on this show. I'm not really sure what to do with myself. At this point, usually I'm talking about how I'm dying inside and I regret my choices in life and how did I get here and how do I change things.
And you're only here enjoying your time because of your kinship with Steve and Matt, who is not here.
I mean, truly, like, this show is testament to how much I enjoy the company of Steve and Matthew. Like, there's no fucking way I would watch the usual stuff we watch on this show if it were not for how much I enjoy the two gentlemen that I watch these films with. Like, Steve, you could go. I'm good. Like, I'll watch it.
Don't tempt me. Like, I can watch this on my own.
I was kidding. I'm doing it for the walls. I don't want you to go anywhere because because of that.
I'm well.
Yeah. Same Z's. I think I'm on drink like number 4 and we're only like 2 sections in. I'm in freaking
I'm on
danger.
Drink 2, but there have been multiple
the last section of this
multiple like
look like
grandma shots in every in every cup.
This is gonna be me by the
Yeah. I almost fell over like the front. This movie's awesome. We're 30 minutes in. We got an hour left.
Mhm.
And there aren't many Stevecasts where I'm like super like there are Stevecast movies that I didn't hate, and it's like because I'm hanging
Right.
out with my friends, I'm having a good
Right.
time.
I
I
feel
want
so alive.
this is the first time in a long time where the movie itself is making me want to continue on. Like
Yeah.
LL is, I assume he's going to be a super cool, like heroic type guy. I'm assuming, like so far they're. I feel like Christy Swanson, Buffy, is going to be competent and awesome. Like
Right?
I'm going to be disappointed. I don't remember at this point. I'm going to be disappointed if the entire movie she is full on damsel in distress. I think I feel it in my Steve bones. She's going to do something cool at some point.
Steve Bones. Okay, I'm just gonna let that go. I will say I as she continues to be a competent heroine and or final girl-esque character, I can only blame the patriarchy for me not knowing that this movie exists. Like, if you want to know if the patriarchy and sexism exists, just know that I don't know that this movie has been available to me. Like, this is misinformation by big.
It's been
peanuts.
free on Tubi for probably since Tubi began to exist.
Right,
I'm curious.
The Tubi started with this movie. This is the
when
video
did-
killed the
when did
radio star of Tubi.
premiere? Now I'm curious.
I love it. I love a good Google on a show. That's how you know you're making good content when you're like googly googly. Steve,
When did
let's get drunk together
2014.
every weekend. This is
That's
amazing.
fine. I mean, I feel like we're gonna burn through the good Tubi movies, but that's okay. Tubi premiered in 2014, so I'm
Okay.
guessing this movie can't cost more than $3 to license. So you probably had access to this movie for 9 years and didn't know it. It took me to
Yeah.
expose you to this.
Mhm.
You were welcome.
I thank you. And normally I would have a sassy rejoinder, but like sometimes you just have to say thank you, show your gratitude.
I'm a little drunk.
I'm excited that I got to say sassy rejoinder.
We'll put that in the show notes in the YouTube description. Rachel has multiple sassy rejoinders. Like I don't know what else to say. Like I am so into this movie. Like every character so far is awesome.
Awesome.
Even stupid LLB, the pizza boy, has got his magic shotgun and his muscle car, and I'm assuming he's going
The
to
power
do
of accessories.
awesome,
Yeah.
super cool things. The demon cop has like I got a good look at him. He has like betrayed or something like that, betrayal like etched on his face. Like he's got words and runes like etched into his skin. I didn't even notice this the first time I saw him, but his sunglasses are like embedded into his head.
It is like big cop Cenobite energy. Like it is the weird.
Yeah, he does look very cop Cenobite.
Somebody has like handcuffs through their eyes. Like this is. I've watched all the Hellraiser movies. This is one of the best Hellraiser sequels of the entire franchise.
It's not hard to be a good one of the best Hellraiser sequels.
I
though.
mean,
the cops or the cops at Pluto Donuts, which I assume is a reference to like the underworld, is
it's pretty.
They're in various states of decay. One of them is like their skin is like bloated and blackened and like wrapped in wire. Most of them just look like zombies. And also Ben Stiller's dad is there.
And also Ben Stiller is there. What is happening? How is there like A-listers in this movie?
I can tell you that having glasses embedded into your head hurts because I've done that before.
I'm sorry, pause. I understand we have to move on with this movie, but I'm going to need to know, like, did you have them surgically implanted or you and they were inserted into your face accidentally?
Accidentally.
Also, can you hear my cat protesting outside the door?
I cannot hear the cat. That's
okay,
fine. So when I was a stupid teenager as opposed to a non-stupid teenager, I was probably like 15, 16,
you can just
17.
say teenager.
When I was a teenager, I anytime I picked up any sort of stick, I would like twirl it around like a baton. And there was one day that I was wearing sunglasses, and also I did that with a shovel, and I smacked myself in the face and embedded my sunglasses into my head.
What? That's so much
I was
worse
sober
than I thought
when
it
I
was
did
gonna
that.
be. Holy shit. The closest I came to that was when I ate Taco Bell and got food poisoning and fainted and landed on my face and broke my glasses. You win. But also Taco Bell is terrible.
Taco Bell is terrible. I don't know where to go from here. I think I'm ready to watch the next 15 minutes of Highway to Hell. This movie is great.
This movie is great.
Like, legitimately great.
They're going to have to actually do some work to make this not great, which is normally like we're like trying to find the we're like raccoons in the dumpster just like looking for treats and like prizes. This thing is going to have to do some work to go the other direction, which is a wild experience for me on this show.
Yeah, we're not used to quality and not drunk quality, but actual quality. But yeah, I think I'm ready. Rachel, are you ready for the next 15 minutes of Highway to Hell?
Genuinely, yes. Let's do this.
The first time Rachel has ever given a genuine yes to that question. Let's do this.
Enthusiastic consent.
Rachel didn't say no. And she wasn't hesitant to say yes. So we are ready to watch the next 15 minutes of Highway to Hell. I am pushing play now.
Share with them their traditional crafts.
All right, we are back. Minutes 30 to 45. This movie continues to be legitimately awesome. Not just Stevecast awesome, but legitimately awesome. And so, let's talk about. I'm going to try to talk about the plot. I'm very drunk right now.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm expecting you to have paid close attention so that you can fill in all of the blanks.
Bless your heart.
So Hell Cop has taken away Buffy. And here comes LLB in his muscle car, and he encounters the biker gang led by Royce.
Yes.
And
you are correct.
Royce, thank you for, I appreciate the confirmation. Royce tells him that, LLB is basically like captured by Royce's like hell biker gang or whatever. And Royce tells him that I will let you go, but you owe me. So you have to agree that you owe me, and then you grant
Is he making
a
deal with the devil? Is that what's happening right now?
I don't know. Is Royce the devil? Is that did you spoil the twist? I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. I have not actually seen this movie, so I have no idea.
Unlike you, I've seen this movie. I just don't remember it. But Royce makes a deal with LLB. LLB is freed from the biker gang with the agreement that he owes Royce a favor at some point, which I assume is going to, happen. I assume they're going to pay that off. Surely that wouldn't be a thing that they tease and don't deliver on.
Normally, I would say we are at great risk of that because of the editing and writing literally every single thing about the movies we watch. But here, I actually am expecting a payoff.
I'm expecting plot cohesion, which is a really tough word to say right now, but I'm expecting it nonetheless. Like, here's like different parts of the plot, and I'm expecting them to do this at some point in the movie. LLB.
You expect them to do this plot and cohesion.
That too. And LLB says, "Yeah, I've totally done that with Buffy," which apparently is going to be a plot point. But LLB is freed from Royce, and he is on the road pursuing Hell Cop. And he pulls up alongside Hell Cop, and he's got his magic shotgun, but he's like, I can't kill Hell Cop while you're in the car with him. You're going to, crash and die. Hell Cop is not restrained in a similar fashion, though. And so Hell Cop just starts putting holes in this muscle car that LLB has, shoots his engine a bunch of times.
That's how you know you're in hell. That's how you know you're in hell. This is unacceptable.
The muscle car is dead. And so LLB, that's right, you pour another drink. Get on my level with my cherry nectar or whatever.
I had the, this is a tortoise in the hare situation. Like, I was like out the gate, just like, bam. Then you have to me, and I need to get on your level now. But I'm working on it. If there's anyone who can do it, Steve, it's me.
I believe in you. Anyways, LLB has had his car destroyed, and he walks to like a payphone and calls for help. And there's just like a random, this happened in the 90s, so they're like payphones still. And so he finds a phone and he asks for help.
Can you imagine payphones in the COVID era? Super spreader event.
When's the last time you saw a payphone? It has been probably decades
I
since I
saw
came across
one
one.
at like a national park when I was like going hiking, and I was like, what? And there were, I'm not kidding, there were like Gen Zers taking photos of it like it was Jurassic Park or something. And
This is
and then
a
I turned into
thing.
dust and I
Click.
blew away.
Yeah. God, I'm old.
Yeah.
Anyways, LLB like calls for roadside assistance on his payphone, and the people on the other end of the line just mock him. But he turns around and there is a AAA tow truck pulling his car away, and the AAA means like anarchy, annihilation, Armageddon.
And
I don't know
anal.
how I remember that. And anal, so it's quadruple A, which is like a special trick that not everyone knows.
It's Helltown. If there's no anal in Helltown, what are we even doing with ourselves?
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm sure that LLB claims that the quadruple A happened with Buffy because her virginity becomes a plot point during this 15 minutes. But so the triple A tow truck is run by Patrick. Is it Patrick Bergen? Is that the guy's name? All right,
And
Patrick Bergen.
Beazle, aka the name of Matilda. If you are a Zombie Girls fan, you know Matilda, and one of her cats is named Beazle.
Okay, well, Patrick Bergen is named Beazle, and he's got this annoying child with him, and Beazle and annoying child run this hell tow truck company, and so they tow.
Marjorie Taylor
LLB's
Greene would have some things to say about this dynamic.
Fuck her.
Fuck her in the quadruple A.
No, I assume that your junk would just turn to dust if you got near her.
Yeah.
Fucking dinosaur. Anyway, I don't even know what that insult meant.
I don't really know. What does that mean?
I don't know. I hate her.
She gives you full velociraptor penis. I don't know what that means. Clever girl.
Beazle, the tow truck driver, and his annoying child snorted. The tow truck driver and his proud companion take LLB and his muscle car back to their shop. And so this is the first time that Charlie has had, or Charlie, I think that's his real name, but in my heart he is LLB. And so I think this is the first time that LLB has had the chance to ask. I'm trying to like not watch Rachel's cam right now.
I just accidentally like got mezcal in my sinuses. It's not good, guys. Can you see my eyes are watering? It's not good, guys. Don't aspirate mezcal.
LLB is asking Patrick Bergen, who's also named Beazle, like, why does Hell Cop want Christy Swanson? And Beazle says, well, is she beautiful? And LLB says, yeah, of course she is. And Beazle says, well, is she a virgin? And apparently, like, Hell like really has some sort of high regard for beautiful virgin women. And LLB is like, no, I've definitely tapped that before. Question for Rachel: do you think he's actually had sex with her, or is he just not willing to admit that he hasn't sealed the deal yet? I feel like
he's given big V
willing.
energy. He's given big V energy, and there's nothing wrong with being a V. Like, we are team
There's
V.
Also
it's
nothing
fine.
wrong with not being a V, though.
Correct, but I do feel like we're gonna find out that that it's a lie.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're gonna find out it's a lie. But he tells
that power vest does not. I'm fucking with a low
power
brother.
Virgin.
Yeah, power version.
The power version vest.
The PV we thought was power vest, but it's actually power version.
Yes. So I also think we're going to find out that she is actually a virgin. I don't know if he is or not. He probably is. He's the lesser.
Do you think maybe he doesn't
brother.
know what virgin is? Like, maybe that's the problem.
Maybe he does. He think that like second base is going all the way.
He thinks dry humping counts.
He's kind of a loser. He was like given I would watch the movie where it's like old man Uncle Matt going to hell instead, because he looks like he's seen some shit, whereas
Uncle Matt
is
fucks.
kind
Uncle
of a
Matt
loser.
fucks.
I'm giving LLB props because he literally drove to hell to rescue Christy Swanson.
Uncle Matt fucks.
Yeah, LLB gets like maybe some over the clothes action, but Uncle Matt like seals the deal.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Second base
So
energy. Mm-hmm.
LLB, he now knows why why Hellcop is interested in Buffy. Hellcop thinks that Buffy is this beautiful virgin. So the car is repaired to the point where it can be driven. Like it's still got holes in it, but you can drive it. And so LLB is now back in his like old timey like hot rod car, and he finds out that this annoying little kid has like hitched a ride, and you find out this annoying little kid's backstory, which is his parents and family. I don't know how many people were involved in this. They were driving down the same highway as LLB and Buffy, and he fell asleep. And so Hellcop showed up and killed the rest of his family and took the little kid to hell and just gave him to Beazle for whatever reason. And so this is kind of an indicator that like completely innocent people can be taken to hell in this universe. And Rachel and I have been chatting like this hell in this movie seems to be a world where for the rest of eternity you are assigned to a job that you hate. So there are people that are working at a diner, which clearly don't want to be working at a diner. We also see a like rock quarry, which is a really tough word to say right now, and it's called the Good Intentions Quarry. And so like there's this like construction foreman that's like interviewing people like in a line, and these are all people that apparently have like recently died. And so they died with good intentions, but terrible things happen to their good intentions because the road to hell is paved with such and such. You can finish the quote. And
what
so
I wasn't expecting was like a full Fargo situation.
Yeah,
like, into the meat grinder they go.
Yeah, so like these people go up to this construction foreman and are like, I thought I was doing a good thing, but a person died on accident. Into the like rock smasher conveyor belt you go, and so this rock smasher is just like spitting out chunks of bodies, arms and legs. It's awesome. I feel
it actually is awesome.
I feel like that's kind of where we're stopped now. Like
well,
LLB. No, he goes to the
is
strip
going
club,
to a
right?
new an establishment, an adult gentleman's establishment where there are boobs.
Yes. So after they pass the Good Intentions rock quarry, where
He has bad intentions,
where people are smashed in like these rock quarry, rock crusher conveyor belts, he ends up in a hell strip club full of terrible people. Like we see someone with like a swastika. Like Rachel said, we also see like actual boobs in this movie. And again,
what is this movie saying? It's like if you do well, but like fuck up just a tiny bit, into the smasher you go. But if you're a Nazi and or a purveyor of titties, like it's life is just a club. Like
this movie has
encourages me to lean into like my worst attributes. I will say, if you had to be in Helltown, like what gig would you want? I have to pee so bad. I don't know why I'm asking questions, but like, what gig would you hope for in Helltown?
I mean, of the gigs that we've only seen 3 gigs. We've seen, or so I guess 4. We've seen
Cop, Diner,
Rib, rock
Purveyor,
quarry, or a strip club. I guess I'd rather go to the Hell strip club.
I mean, like there is the performers, and then there are the Johns, which I assume they're like forever just blue balling. Like that's their hell.
I mean, at least you get to look. I don't know.
But would you want a blue ball forever? I don't know, man.
I feel like it beats being a cop forever, and it beats being like a diner employee forever. Yeah, I'm going Hell strip club. Final answer.
Yeah, I think I would be like Hell strip club performer forever.
That's
I think
fine.
That would be dope. Because I mean, I feel like I'm going with that.
Rachel, I'm so drunk I tried to take a sip through my straw and I missed.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 would drink with you again.
This movie is great. Like we were trying to think like, is this like, are we missing some like weird divine comedy Dante's Inferno iconography?
Oh, I think for sure. I think when you're like adding in things like hell is paved with good intentions, like they are trying to get at something, but I think it's muddled, and that like you go from a meat grinder directly into a strip club, and I feel like the takeaway from that is
And who hasn't been there before?
what, the meat grinder
I'm
or
trying
the
to-
strip club?
Both. Like, you start out heading for one, but you end up in the other one. I want to just
Yeah.
see like
I got
what
a
is
strip
the
club story for you after this.
Oh, I can't wait to hear okay. So I was curious. Like, I wanted to see like what's the trivia on the IMDb trivia for Highway to Hell.
Ooh, what is it?
The film features 4 members of the Stiller family. Jerry
Oh.
Stiller, who we saw, he was the cop that was fucking with Hell Cop. We saw
Yes.
Ben Stiller, who was like the outdoors rib cook.
Yeah, like big blood diner energy. Yes,
The wife, Ann Mara, I don't know how to pronounce her name, and the sister, Amy Stiller. There's a goof. Who would have thought that there was some sort of slight continuity error?
I don't believe it. No continuity errors. This movie is
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm just
10 out
going
of
to skip
10.
the goof. IMDb is wrong.
that
I'm
goof.
assuming this is correct.
Fuck that
Quotes. Rachel says, the movie Rachel, who is Buffy, have you ever been in love? And Satan, actual Satan is going to be in this movie at some point. Satan says, I am darkness made visible. I am the prince of princes. I once basked in the light of God's love.
Oh my God. Swipe
wow.
right.
Holy shit.
Whoever has that as your dating profile, swipe the fuck right.
I'm gonna yeah. Really cool.
I have found
rare
my
film,
type.
says the
I didn't think I
review.
had a type. That's my type.
This is so good. I cannot
excellent.
I am so happy that 9-year-old Steve didn't misremember how
No,
good
9-year-old
this
Steve
movie is.
should be programming this entire channel.
Yes, and maybe he will. Maybe next time we're gonna watch like the 90s Ninja Turtle movies.
He should.
This
Fine.
is fantastic.
You know, I actually need to revisit those 90s Ninja Turtle movies. Again, another phrase, very challenging to complete. Because I saw it once when I had like 100+ degree temperature after having watched all of the Exorcist and Omen movies. So it's all meshed into this like fever dream of horror. So I feel like the one that scares me the most is the Ninja Turtle. So maybe I need to go back and like reclaim it.
There is one user review for this film where someone is singing the film's praises.
Okay, so
but it's
taste, sophistication, excellence.
It's mostly because they think Lita Ford is really hot, which is accurate.
That's correct. That is correct.
I didn't really know the name Lita Ford, but having looked her up, I recognize various songs, which Drunk Steve may or may not sing later on. We'll see how that goes.
Oh my God.
Kiss me once. That's all you. This movie, I love this movie. This is so much fun. Like hell is a place where people have to do menial tasks. For
Correct.
The
The accuracy. Is this a documentary?
Which is a terrible fate. It's like if you worked in like some shitty roadside diner that you hated and you killed a
With
person
cops.
unjustifiably, hell is you also work in a diner for the rest of eternity. Like this movie is awesome yet terrifying. I hope you and I are going to go be good people after we watch this.
No, we're not. I'm not. Fuck that shit. I've seen what happens to the people that do their best. They go in the meat grinder. I'm going full. I'm going like I'm leaning in. Whatever darkness inside of me, I am unleashing because it means I'm going to end up in a strip club. I'm going to be fucking making it rain for eternity.
But I feel like if you're in a strip club in this movie, it means like you literally don't get to leave those strip club cages.
I mean, I definitely feel like I said, it's like Blue Ball Central, but like it's better than the meat grinder. Like I don't want to just be a high heel with fishnets, just like
what
by
happens
myself.
if you go on the meat grinder? Are you like dead squared? Are you still sentient?
I think you're just pieces of yourself. Because like that high heel was still like just kind of chilling and like living her best high heel life. And let me tell you, that's a different kind of hell. If you've ever worn high heels, which I assume you have, Steve, they are painful.
Clearly.
Oh my God, I know what
You
we're
should
doing
be-
in May.
You should be very angry at whoever created the idea of high heels because those look super uncomfortable.
As someone
Not
who
that
is
I would know.
5'2", I will shove my hoof into one of those and pretend I'm 5'5" all day.
As someone who is naturally above 5'5", I don't have that
All
problem.
right. I don't need your like height privilege just rubbed in my face, sir.
I don't know what else to say. Like, this movie is awesome. I am
10 out of
super
10.
I am
Genuinely
super
like.
invested in LLB's quest to rescue Buffy the Vampire Slayer from
I'm
Hell
here
Cop.
for that power vest.
I'm less enthused that there's now going to be like a child companion, but still, I mean, children are awful. Like they're.
I feel like
as
this
you
movie's
discussed
a little
before,
mean. Like, I feel like there's a chance we're going to get to see him perish, at which time I will spontaneously orgasm. Should I say that? I don't know.
That's fine. I mean, we're that you said that during the 15 minutes in between movie segments, so that technically stays within the video.
I don't actually. I think this is the actual show, Steve.
We're just gonna leave all of this in. That sounds horrible. We'll see how it goes.
This is the show. You're confused. This part is the show.
This is the part of the show because the movie is paused.
Yeah.
I don't know how to react to the two of us continuing to talk while the movie is going on. That was
I love it. I love it.
That was the entire
my new
point.
favorite thing to do in the world.
That was the entire point of the Stevecast format, was to not talk over the. I'm sliding off of the futon.
Yeah. See, you need a chair with arms. You can't see it, but this has arms. I'm gonna fall over. Don't do that, Ray. That's a bad idea.
I just scooted my futon really close to
Come in, get a little
the
closer.
thing where images come through.
Intimacy. Let's do this.
I
gotta pee,
think,
dude.
yeah,
pee
dude.
real fucking bad.
Upcoming the next 15 minutes of Highway to Hell, minutes 45 to an hour, but not until both of us take a pee. We'll be back.
Vegetarian bitch!
This is so hot, Steve. This is so hot. Come to mama. Like, I wish I had my daddy cup right now because I feel so represented by her low bosom as well as.
Describe what's the daddy cup?
I have a cup that says daddy on it that my co-host on more our Zombie Girls gave me because I'm the podcast daddy, and I've like pimped them out on to a bunch of other shows. I don't know if you should include that. But that's why they bought it for me. I didn't buy it for myself. They bought it for me.
We'll see whether or not any of that content makes it into the episode. Hello, everyone.
Or any of this content makes it into the episode, to be honest.
Oh, God.
Dude, there's still a half hour. There's 2 more segments of this. We're in fucking danger, dude.
This is... I've slowed down because holy shit, I'm a little drunk right now. I'm having a hard time like sitting up on the futon right now. Rachel had internet problems when she came back. I was just like sprawled out.
I know you like half covered your screen, but it was like I could see parts of your body than a weird toilet seat.
Yeah, this is super effective. God, all right. Minutes 45 to an hour of Highway to Hell.
Amazing.
I have to try to remember everything that happened. So, okay.
Good luck. I'm so glad that you're the responsible adult on this podcast because I am not.
Okay, LLB was in the strip club, right? And
boobs. There were boobs.
There were boobs. And there is a random like hell resident that reaches into the cage to try to grope one of the strippers, and his hand catches on fire. So that's the part of hell we're in now, where like you are if you're not one of the hell strippers, then you are one of the hell I don't know, Johns, and if you try to actually make good on your urges, your
no
hand
sex in the champagne room.
And so LLB finds Buffy chained into one of these cages, and he tries to free her, but it doesn't work because Hell Cop shows up, and Hell Cop and LLB fight, and he tries
Hell Cop is so like such cuck energy. Like he is such a cuck. I just want to
awesome,
put that out there.
Though.
He's awesome, but like his whole like
runes and words like carved into his head. He's like chief cock blocker.
He's Officer Cuck. I'm sorry.
Officer Cuck.
Sorry
okay,
about
that's
it.
fine. So LLB is fighting Officer Cuck. He shoots Officer Cuck with like his magic shotgun, and just like sand falls out of him. So like so Officer Cuck is like he's not taking any damage, but he gets eventually LLB gets shot in the chest with his own shotgun. Meanwhile, Officer Cuck gets shot with his own like hell gun. And when Officer Cuck gets shot, it's like he just gets like teleported away from somewhere, and just like his boots and his belt are left. But LLB looks like he's dying because he has this like shotgun wound to the chest. And then Beazle, Patrick Bergen shows up. Beazle shows up and basically just like sets LLB on the bar to recover, and you eventually
he's like, "You covered in bees."
Yeah, you eventually get told that the shotgun could pierce your flesh but not your soul, and so like apparently LLB can be damaged but not actually be killed in hell. But while LLB is recovering, we see fucking Gilbert Gottfried in hell as Hitler.
What the fuck is happening? Well, Ben Stiller shows up as Attila the Hun, and you're like, okay, this is a weird return to screen. And then the camera pans.
Yeah, we see Gilbert Gottfried as Hitler, Ben Stiller as who Rachel believes is Attila the Hun.
It is obviously Attila the Hun from Context Clues.
And then a woman who is Cleopatra.
Mm-hmm. And again from Context Clues.
Yeah. And then
it's like you've never been in a spirit store or something.
But LLB survives because his soul can't be pierced. But then Beazle is like not letting the stupid kid companion come with him. So LLB takes off in his car to continue his quest to stop Hellcop, but Beazle and the child companion get the Royce and his Hell biker gang are talking to Beazle, and for whatever reason, Beazle sends Royce and the Hell biker gang against LLB. So I assume that Beazle is actually Satan, Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, yeah,
gonna be the main bad guy.
Yep.
The
Julia Roberts was right. Never trust Beazle.
I don't know what that means, but I'm going to say
he was in Sleeping with the Enemy.
I never watched that.
Why? I thought you listened to me. I thought we were connecting. What's happening?
We are connected via alcohol.
Yes. Yeah.
So Royce's biker hell gang, including the guy with the doctor round thing on his head that no one knows what it is.
What is this thing? Okay, listeners, I don't know how much of the in-between is happening, but we had a long conversation about what is that, the doctor headband with the weird like flat satellite mirror dish. What is the purpose of that? Is that for you to like during examinations be able to look into your own eyes and see the horror of whatever's happening? Like what is the purpose of that? What is the purpose?
I've never seen a doctor that used one of those things, so I have no idea what that is.
That feels like some shit you would buy at Spirit Halloween and knock on the door and be like somebody who's pretending to be like someone who's offering free breast exams, but you're actually not a real doctor. That's what those look like to me.
All right. Well,
and I don't feel like that's a stretch. I feel like that's totally reasonable chain of logic. Don't question me.
Royce and his Spirit of Halloween doctor attack LLB, who fights them off, escapes into the cave. LLB is on the road to nowhere, and so he gets into the caves that lead to nowhere, and Clara shows up. And
a adult men's doctor headband mirror, 224 at Party City.
Okay, what is the mirror for?
That's what I was Googling. Purpose. What is the doctor headband for? This is known as a head mirror, and it helps. I don't understand this word. What is this word?
Spell
OTOLARYNGOL OGIST.
Oligonos.
What are those round metal things doctors wear on their heads? Physicians have always had a distinctive physical profile. Get to the point. Get to the point, Jake Rosen from Mental Floss. I want to know why. Why? Bullshit. It was first conceived by French medical professional named Levert, which rhymes with pervert. For the record, oh my God, Steven is asleep. Okay. Something about a German physician, so definitely Shiza. Shiza is involved. Maybe we do actually need Matthew on this show. We need an adult, Steve. Because neither of I fulfill that role. Apparently it's a head mirror for light. I don't know. I'm calling shenanigans.
Okay, it's a mirror. Well, LLB and Royce's gang, including the Spirit of Halloween doctor with the head mirror, chase him into the road to nowhere, where he's planning on, like, I guess, ambushing the gang, but then Clara shows up.
This is the part, by the way, I want to remind you, Steve, this is the part that goes on the internet.
It is. I don't care right now.
I'm so happy. I've never felt happier or more fulfilled than I do in this moment.
This is what ends up happening on the normal Stevecast where we're not on camera. Like, I'm laying down by the end of it. Clara tells LLB that she accepted some sort of deal. And so, because I think LLB, like, recognizes her and is like, hey, you know, I can help you too. But she says, no, I accepted someone's deal. I'm stuck here. So LLB, I don't remember how he ends up at this place, but he leaves Clara and ends up in some sort of house where
the
champagne room, where Buffy is, like, laying on the bed, and so he has to fight Hellcop. No, this is where he fight. This is where he shoots Hellcop with his own gun, and Hellcop teleports away. He doesn't. I think I said before that he shot Hellcop at the stripper club. I don't think that's what happened. He shoots Hellcop here, and then Buffy's like, "Oh yes, fuck me," and then the devil won't want me. So this confirms that Buffy is not a virgin, and so stop laughing. I see your hands. This confirms.
I'm trying to synchronize with you.
This confirms that when LLB told Beazle several segments ago that he and Buffy were not a virgin, he was lying, and so Buffy says, fuck me and the devil won't want me anymore, and he starts to be into it. Stop it. He starts to be into it, but then he looks in the mirror, and Buffy is actually this, like crazy, like, monster woman with the low-hanging boobs that Rachel appreciates.
We stand a low bosom on the outpost unknown.
I'm dying.
Yeah. At least you died doing what you loved. Talking about Highway to Hell with me.
Talking about low-hanging monster boobs. Anyways, a monster lady starts, like, throwing throwing LLB around. And that's where we're paused. Like, LLB has to make a choice, and he is choosing to not fuck Monster Lady.
See, this is what I'm saying. The discrimination against the low bosom American. It is the underseen justice of American culture. Like,
Yeah,
bosoms
Monster Lady, like
bosoms of all elevations matter.
low-hanging
Low
Monster
bosoms,
Ladies
high
need love
bosoms.
too.
Matthew, where are you to keep us on the rails? I really feel like I appreciate him in a new way. I don't think I would have shown my low bosom if he was here.
Wait, you showed low bosoms?
Well, no. I mean, over the top, over the shirt action. But yeah. I can't wait for you to be sober editing this. You're not going to remember any of this shit.
I mean,
We should probably watch this movie.
Oh god, yeah. I need to slow down and actually pay more attention to Highway to Hell because
You did so good. I'm actually kind of amazed at how good you're doing.
Did you remember all the things that I said? Because I don't remember
No.
what I said.
No. Steve, no.
I am Plodicus. I remember everything, and it sucks.
Is that your name, Plodicus, on the Spartacus?
Yes, that is what they
podcast?
call me. I am Plodicus.
That makes sense.
I am the one that has to lay out everything that happens, and apparently even drunk Steve possesses
Feed me
Plodicus
to the
and power.
plot lions. Like, I don't have a fucking chance. You're amazing. It's like, it is, yeah, it is incredible how you come through in clutch. Like, when you're saying those things, it's like I've never seen the movie you're talking about. I'm like, oh.
I'm gonna watch this again when I'm sober. This is so good. I am so into this movie.
No, it's really good.
Every part of this is awesome.
Every part. Like, it is actually, like, I understand we're drunk and we keep saying this, and all the stuff in between is getting cut out, so it's probably just us, a lot of us being like mystified over how good this movie is. But I am now 1 hour exactly into this movie, and my feeling is the same. Like, this movie fucks.
I have been
It's
entertained
good.
from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Though I feel like LLB is not going to seal the deal with Low Hanging Monster Lady. I think he's going to.
Can you imagine if the next 15 minutes is just like hot anal action with Ella?
the loophole?
Right? Like, I would have mad respect for this movie if it just turned into straight anus porn.
I mean, hey, I can appreciate
No judgment.
it. I can
No
appreciate a movie that surprises me with the unexpected, but I feel like that's not going to happen. I feel like
I think you're probably right.
I feel like he is going to reject Low Hanging Monster Lady in favor
Which
of
is what
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Again, like the underseen discrimination, like the underappreciated discrimination that the low bosomed have to endure. Who's speaking up for the low bosomed? Who is speaking up for my people?
Just you. This is the Stevecast is your platform.
Right?
So say whatever you need.
This is where the movement starts. Get
Yes.
in now at the, I'd say the ground floor, but that feels that feels like a dig
where
at
you're
the low bosom.
sweeping.
If you are amongst the low hanging fruit, if you know what I'm saying.
God, let's watch.
Let's start the movie.
Let's start the movie. We're gonna watch minutes 60 to 75 of Highway to Hell.
This is for
Movie's
the best.
fucking awesome. I am very happy with my selection. Let's do it. I am pushing play now.
Paging Saddam Hussein. Bastard! Down here. That's a compliment.
All right.
Plodicus. We are officially, lions are to eat you. We are in the Roman cathedral. No, what is that thing called?
The arena.
The arena.
Colosseum.
The Colosseum. That's the word. We are in the Colosseum. The lions are like, rawr.
Okay.
So Plodicus, you got this.
Okay. So the beginning of this 15 minutes is LLB kills Monster Lady, and she's still trying to put her low hanging.
She's a
moves on him.
lover, not a fighter. She's a lover, not a fighter.
he
She
cuts
just
off.
wanted to get that D. Like, it's kind of actually tragic. It is tragic that he castrates her and then throws her into the fire, and all she wanted was to make sweet, sweet love. Is that really who we are as people, as a society in 2023, that we can't recognize love? Is that where we are? Steve, is that where we are?
I
Steve?
think that's where we are,
Damn
because
it.
this like horned reptilian
Would
monster langing.
you throw a fucker away just because love is love?
I mean, I'm pretty drunk right now, so who knows? But LLB was completely sober, so he kills her, shoots her with the shotgun, and she falls into the bed, which then like falls into this like swirling hell pit. And so he gets in his car and he gets on the highway, the Hell Highway, and he continues his drive to Hell City. And he gets into Hell City and he enters some hell palace. Honestly, I don't remember how he actually got to this place, but he winds up in some palace where Christy Swanson is.
I think there's some sort of like demolition derby with a bunch of Volkswagen Beetles for reasons unknown.
Yeah, when he was on the highway, there were multiple other cars of the same kind of like type crashing into him.
They were Volkswagen Beetles, and I know because my first car was a Volkswagen Beetle, and I have a deep affinity for them. I had many, many misadventures in mine.
My favorite Transformer is the original Bumblebee, who turned into the Volkswagen Beetle.
Yes, it's the best one.
It's just the little bitch that got kidnapped in every episode, but I loved him. OG Bumblebee is great. Anyways,
justice for OG Bumblebee. If there is anything that the Stevecast stands for, united behind, it is A, low bosom, and B, justice for Bumblebee.
Yes. LLB ends up in the Hell Palace, where he finds Christy Swanson playing violin, and when he comes across her, he's like, "Wait a minute, I don't trust you." Which is a
metaphor for vagina? I don't know.
Maybe is that how you play it? I gotta up my game.
Right. You're like suddenly very interested in classical music.
Yes. Before he will approach her, he looks into the mirror to make sure that she is actually Buffy, because that's how he kind of outed the monster demon lady, by seeing her reflection. But when he confirms that Buffy is actually Buffy, they embrace, and out comes Satan.
It's like, oh, that high bosom.
Yes,
I can feel the height.
The
height of the bosom.
The perky high bosom is what's attracting him to Buffy. Also her virginity. So again, we have confirmation that
high bosom, high hymen.
Yes, it's intact, and and Satan,
going in the final cut. Steve said intact.
Satan is all about that intact hymen. And so Satan and Buffy plus LLB, they're having a talk, and Buffy's like, "Haven't you ever been in love?" And Satan is like, "I used to bask in God's light. I know all about love and intact hymens, and now you're here in hell." But Satan starts choking out LLB, but ultimately just lets them flee.
It's the kinkiest movie that has ever been made.
Yeah, LLB flees with Buffy, and then Satan like finds a mirror, and like it's like a mirror that's on like a pivot, and he flips it around a bunch, and then we called it
Twist.
Satan
Twist
is actually Beazle. So Patrick Bergen or whatever is Satan in this movie.
Big Daddy Bergen is Satan.
And so Buffy and LLB flee, and they can't get back to their car, so they steal the cop car. And as they're trying to drive away in the cop car, all of these like old Napoleon-esque French soldiers and also naked zombies are like dogpiling the car, trying to keep them from escaping. But ultimately they get the car going. They drive away. They switch cars to the hot rod that LLB has had the whole time, and they continue to flee. We also get a scene where after this, Hell Cop, who is just there again, I don't actually remember because he got teleported away in the monster lady's love shack. So I don't know actually what actually happened to him, but the Hell Cop is back, and there are these, I don't know, Hell mechanics working on the Hell Cop car, and they fix it up, and so Hell Cop is getting impatient, so he smashes one of the Hell mechanics into the hood of the car, and so
the classism.
Just the legs of the Hell mechanic are sticking out.
The red collar versus blue collar.
And so Hell Cop is now chasing down LLB again. And so LLB and Buffy in their repaired hot rod, they go and they find there's like this, I don't know, building out in the middle of the hellscape that is California that wasn't there before. And they go there, and out comes Beazle. And I don't know yet that LLB and Buffy have put together that Beazle is Satan, because he did that reveal to the audience after they had left the previous scene. But LLB and Buffy want to rescue the little kid that we saw several segments ago. And that's pretty much where we're at now. Our two heroes are trying to take the kid out of hell, and Beazle's like, no, the kid is going to stay. But also, don't forget, you've got a 24-hour time limit to actually get out of here, and Hell Cop is on its way. So, the LLB and Buffy have to make a choice now. Are they going to be heroes and try to rescue the little kid, or are they going to just flee to
take
outrun
off and
Hell
engage
Cop?
In some hot anal action? I know what I would
as
go
you
for.
do. I mean, it's Buffy. Like, how could you say no to that?
I mean, Mr. Pointy. You know what I'm saying? Buffy fans know what I'm talking about. Steve does not, because he has not watched the series.
I've only watched the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. I've never watched the TV show.
Golden Girls spinoff, number 1. Buffy spinoff, number 2. Look at her, Rose. Look at her. She's your fellow Southern queen. Like, I feel like there's so much crossover there.
South.
I was in the South like 2 days ago. We haven't even talked about it. It was hot. It was fucking hot. I didn't know it was that hot.
It's terrible.
Why is it so hot?
The South is terrible.
I also like her devil goes down to Georgia more times than I expected. Like, that feels like a stereotype,
I mean,
but it like happened.
Though. It is a cool
It's
song.
a good song. It is a good song, and it was a lady fiddler, and I was into it. But when I walked in, a fiddler. That's what it's called, right? Is that not a thing? And did I make that up?
I don't know.
You're Southern. How dare you?
I am a lapsed Southern. I don't claim it anymore.
A lapsed Southern. Oh, I was in Nashville, which is like kind of your stomping grounds, right? Like, it's Memphis adjacent.
From Memphis, that hellscape.
Same state. It's not that big a state, right?
Anyways, like, how this 15 minutes is awesome, right? Like,
this 15 minutes is often.
This entire movie has been quality.
There are only 15 minutes left. There is a chance I could shit the bed. There's a chance. But I've never had more faith in a movie than I have in this moment. I would be shocked if this doesn't go well for us. Like, from the first 15 minutes, like, never has a movie like gotten my goodwill so fast. Like, usually movies are bad, and then I get drunk enough that I'm like, okay, sure, why not? This one from the start has been excellent and has not let me down yet. So there's 15 minutes left. I would be shocked if I don't walk away from this like slow clap.
What happened to Lita Ford? Is she gonna come back? She was real hot earlier.
She was real hot, but I mean, that's the thing with Lita Ford. She doesn't really have to do that much to like leave
I went
a
to
bomb-ass
a
impression.
party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight.
This is amazing. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened on this show. Everyone be quiet. Don't distract him. Just let him do his thing.
Delight in the people's daily pursuits.
What? Tangerine Dream did some of the music in this? That's amazing. Are you all right? Did you make it?
I'm
Are you
working on it.
Well, this is why it's called the Stevecast, my friend. You started this, and we've made mistakes. We've listened to the algorithm. We should have just followed the ultimate tastemaker, which is Steve. Because you have selected yet another fucking banger with this movie. This movie is so awesome. This is what we started. When we go back to the founding days of the Stevecast, I feel like we've lost our way a little bit with all the ninja bullshit. This is what it was actually meant for. Moments like this. This was glorious. Glorious. Glorious.
Speaking of ninja bullshit, we are currently recording this on August 27th, 2023. Rachel,
One
do you know
day
what tomorrow?
away.
Do you know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow is Steve
James
motherfucking James Day.
Yes.
A holiday created by and for the Stevecast.
So clearly, we are watching a good movie in honor of Steve James.
I feel like this is for our boy. Yeah, for sure.
Because several months ago now, when we watched a Steve James movie, it was like we
don't talk about that.
We wished for a Steve James movie, and then the monkey's paw closed on us. It was a little rough. But tomorrow, at the time of recording, tomorrow is Steve James Day. Love Steve James. Gotta watch one of his movies. But let's talk about the last 15 minutes.
Plodicus, you got this, bro. Because I could not do it. I will just scream exclamation points, essentially verbal exclamation points about how much I enjoyed it, but I couldn't tell you a thing that happened.
LLB and Buffy are continuing to talk to Satan, who is Beazle, Patrick Bergen, and they tell him we are leaving hell and we are taking Adam, this little annoying kid, with us. And Beazle's like, nah, nah. He's staying here. I want him to stay here with me. And so LLB says, well, hey, we've only got 24 hours to get out of hell. The time is counting down. We're almost out of time. We know Hell Cop is on the way. So I'll make you a deal. If we escape, if we actually make it out of here, give us Adam. And if we actually make it out of here, then he stays with us. And Satan is like, nah, not interested in playing a game. He is not for sale. I'm not wagering him whatsoever. And so Christy Swanson chimes in and says, and me. If we don't make it out of hell, you get to keep me and Adam. And so the devil's like, you know what? Fine. I'll give you this chance. Hell Cop is on the way. You and Hell Cop basically have to race out of hell. And so that happens. Satan puts a chair on some cliffside with this guy holding an umbrella over his head while he smokes Satan cigars and drinks Satan drinks.
As you do.
And so LLB and Buffy and Adam are in the car and they are speeding away, I guess, in the direction of where they came from, the hell exit. And,
right.
But the cop has caught up with them. And so while they are trying to escape, Hell Cop is trying to stop them. We also see Royce, who is the leader of the biker gang. And Royce is talking to Satan, is like, hey, I've done everything you asked me to do. I deserve. When do I get to go back? When do I get a chance to go back to Earth and escape hell? And Satan's like, nah, you're not important right now. I don't care about you. And in the midst of all this, Royce's biker gang abandons him, and he's like, fuck it, I'm going for it. I'm going to try to escape. And so he gets on the bike with the lady who is not Lauren Holly, and so Claire. Her name in the movie is Clara, and Clara is the almost spouse of Uncle Matt, and so So Royce and Clara are on this bike, and they're just driving towards LLB and Buffy, and Satan at no point has like confirmed that they're going to get out, so they're just chasing him for no particular reason. Um, but Royce catches up with LLB and the rest of his crew, and he starts like stabbing his mysterious sword that he has for no particular reason. Just starts like stabbing it through the roof of this car, and ultimately Clara has like a ribbon or a scarf or something around her neck, and like wraps it around his head, and like causes him and her to drive their motorcycle off a cliff. And like when we see their bodies like down on the ground, like the sword has been stabbed through his back. So whatever. Like Clara has protected LLB and Buffy and Adam and the dog who is still there. Oh shit! Did we talk about Cerberus in the last 15 minutes?
I don't think we did. I think we skipped
No,
right past
that's
Cerberus.
right. Because there's a whole scene that we missed in the last 15 minutes where when when LLB enters the Hell City, he first has to cross like the river Styx, and we see Charon with his eyes sewed up. And he's got to get on the boat and go across the river. And before LLB can get to the river, we see Cerberus, the three-headed dog, and LLB's dog goes and takes a piss near Cerberus to piss Cerberus off, and that lets LLB sneak by. So that we missed that in the last 15 minutes. I think that's how LLB got to the palace where Christy Swanson was. How the fuck do I remember this?
I don't know. You're kind of amazing. This is like Michael Jordan in the Olympics, just like crushing it. I don't know what's happening. I just have to stand in awe of your skill, sir.
Okay, well, back to we
gotta monetize this channel because you should get paid for the level of skill that you're bringing.
How much alcohol can Steve have but still remember the plot to movies? Is that?
The answer is a lot.
That's what the Stevecast.
The answer is one entire hummingbird feeder worth.
I'm so tired now. So Royce and Clara are done with the movie at this point. So now it's just LLB in a car with Buffy and Adam and the dog trying to outrace the Hell Cop. And so Hell Cop keeps trying to like shoot them and force them off the road. And Adam's like, "Oh,
what a dick!
Shoot him in the glasses," because as we mentioned before, Hell Cop has like sunglasses that are like embedded into his flesh.
How do we not know this was such an important plot point when we like dug into your history with glasses?
I don't even remember if we talked about that on the portion of the show that's going to make it to air. So we'll see.
Good point. Good point.
But Adam tells LLB, destroy his glasses and you destroy Hell Cop. And so they're
which is how I feel whenever I see like a cop and or cop adjacent person with their glasses on. I feel like that is the center of their power.
It makes sense.
I love your yes anding. Thank you for that.
So LLB and crew, like they don't kill the cop in hell. They just kind of like they manage to outrun him, and so they come out on the highway, where basically where the movie essentially started, and the normal cop that LLB pulled a shotgun on earlier is still there. So it's like, did any time actually passed, or did this normal cop really just sit there for like 24 hours? I don't know. The movie doesn't go into it, but normal cop is still there. And so LLB and crew escape hell, and LLB starts getting like arrested, but he's laughing. He's like so thrilled that he beat hell. He beat the devil and escaped with his anal princess and little kid Adam. And
thank you for not saying his anal little kid Adam. This is a family friendly series, okay? The show is family friendly.
LLB is in handcuffs. Like LLB, like he had like one hand in cuffs and the other hand got like attached to the car. And so LLB is immobilized, but suddenly like, here comes Hell Cop. Did I say Hell Cup? I think I said Hell Cup. Hell Cop
Nah.
came through the portal and begins like Terminator walking towards LLB and the cop. And so Hell Cop just swats away normal cop, and then uh,
So much for
LLB,
the thin blue line.
yeah. So there's no respect amongst cops here. But LLB manages to like knock out one of the lenses to Hellcop's glasses. Meanwhile, but he can't get the other one, and so Hellcop is choking him out, and he goes to like put his
Hot.
hell gun into LLB's mouth without enthusiastic consent.
Hot.
But then suddenly here comes Buffy with their last magic shotgun shell and shoots out the other lens.
What did I say as soon as I saw that vest? What did I say?
The power vest, the power virginity vest. Christy Swanson shoots the Hell Cop in the other lens of his cop glasses, which causes like
princess.
these
That's my queen.
These beams of light begin shooting out of Hell Cop's eyes, and he explodes, and that is the end of the movie. We don't really get an epilogue. I was hoping we'd see LLB and Christy Swanson go get married in Vegas and then finally seal the deal. Instead, they suddenly have a child without any of the fun of making the child, which so they're starting out their marriage on a negative note. But still, they've escaped hell. Presumably, they are going to continue their trip to Vegas to get married. I love this movie. Every part of this movie was great. 9-year-old Steve, you knew what fucking movies were.
Dude, this movie is amazing. It's genuinely fun and like when we talk about like, oh, a hidden gem. This is the definition of hidden gem for me. I never had any idea this existed. I'm sure I saw that VHS like on the shelves and I would have been like dismiss. But it is such a hidden gem. You absolutely
so much
must watch.
Fun. It's like this movie does not need like a deep. Like, I'm curious about like the lore of this movie, but at the same time, it doesn't need it. It's just like an adventure story. Like you are going to hell to rescue your bride, and also like there's a hell cop. There's got to be some sort of like Dante's Inferno like analog here or something.
I mean, it's such a fun mishmash of like different mythologies. Like you said, like we see Cerberus, we see the hell has, the road to hell, all those kinds of things kind of like smushed together in this larger mythology. And then just like the camp of it all. I don't know. This is such a fun movie. I cannot believe I'm recommending the movie at the end of a Stevecast. But when I tell you, you must watch it. It is so much fun.
God,
this is a fun movie.
It gave a lot of like you may also like movies.
All right, I'm getting Hatchet 3, not great.
Outer
Maniac
Space.
Cop, Trucks, Maniac Cop 3, which I'll be honest, I've never seen any of the Maniac Cop movies, but I know they're classics. The Town That Set a Dreaded Sundown.
The Ghoulies.
Yeah, like these. Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf, classic. Yeah, there's some good shit in these recommendations, which speaks well of this film and feels correct.
Yeah, we might have to just kind of see where the recommendations from Highway to Hell
take us.
Stevecast. But like this movie's great. Like it feels like this movie seems simultaneously like low budget, but they also like did the absolute fucking most they could with whatever
every
money
penny.
They had.
Every penny is on the screen.
Awesome. The makeup on Hell Cop looks awesome. I mean, it helped.
Beazle in devil form.
Yeah.
Rad.
It helped it as far as environments go, like just like the natural like California hellscape, like really like supported the movie. The diner with all of like the zombie cops, the handcuffs were the coolest part of this movie. Like the work done to the cop car to make it look like this super awesome muscle car that's like spewing flames and like Back to the Future fire tire treads or tire whatever streaks going behind it. I cannot say enough good things about this movie. This movie was great. I'm going to watch it again when I'm sober.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. This is probably the best thing that we have watched on the Stevecast.
Without question. Like, usually this is the part where I lament my life choices. I have zero fucking regrets. This was like the best use of my afternoon. I had other things I needed to do. And normally I'm like, man, what did I do with my day? This is the best. I could not have done a better Sunday afternoon than I have with you today.
Oh, yeah, you started like 4 p.m. your time, so you really wasted a day on Stevecast.
Oh, yeah. Gone. Like, I woke up super early because I had to get shit done before this. And I was like, I love hanging out with Steve, so it'll be worth it. I had a great fucking time. Like, I have no regrets. This was a, perfect way to do this. I know we cannot recreate this every time, but I'm telling you right now, like we joked at the beginning, we thought we were a hot ticket. If this is what every Stevecast was like, we'd be fighting them off with a stick because this is hitting on every level.
See, now we've like raised the bar. Now we have to hope.
Yeah, this is hard.
We have to hope
this is a hard
that
follow-up.
all of these other movies that have been recommended by Tubi. Zombie Lust Night Flesh is one of the recommendations. The Longest Weekend. No, none of that looks cool.
No, that's too serious. We don't want that.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I love this movie.
Listeners, watchers. Okay, you've now seen this movie. You've watched it with us. What do we watch next? How do we keep this level up? Is Matt a curse?
Maybe.
The one episode without Matthew has been
Matt off of the Stevecast for good.
Like he thought he quitted us. We quit you.
You can't fire me.
Although if you want to come back, you can come back, obviously. But I'm just saying, like after all the terrible movies we watched, Ninja Vengeance, you can't delete it because you're not here. We watched the best movie in the history of Stevecast, and you missed it, brother.
He did, and he's going to probably not regret that at all, knowing him, but he should.
Only because he doesn't know. In
my heart of hearts, I know that Matt would have had a good time had he joined us.
He would have had an absolute blast if he had watched this. Nope. See, that's the takeaway for everybody watching. You should be doing this with us every month because look what you get. You get high art and low bosoms.
As Beelzebub intended. I don't know where to go from here, so I think we're...
we wrap it up. I think we're good. Wrap it up.
Yeah. Highway to Hell 1991, free on Tubi, link in the description. It is amazing. Thank you for joining us, Rachel. Thank you for being my rock in Stevecast here.
Always.
Thank you for posting some photos of Lita Ford in the chat. I am going to do some research into that later. I also great. I see posts of me like lying down in the back. Fantastic. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us for another Stevecast or Real Stevecast and Outpost Unknown. Join us next time where we hope that the next movie meets the quality of this one.
Impossible. This is peak. We've peaked. Bye, everybody.
Hey, yo. Join us on a dazzling cinematic adventure down the highway to hell. A winding route that stretches from here to eternity.
Kansas anymore.
Discover the warm, energetic, inventive, and friendly inhabitants of hell.
Can you tell me the quickest way to hell?
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Share with them their traditional crafts and delicious local cuisine.
Vegetarian bitch! Paging Saddam Hussein! Bastard! Down here, that's a compliment.
You'll marvel at the unusual flora and fauna. Delight in the people's daily pursuits.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh.
and see reenactments of rituals that go back hundreds of thousands of years.
Once you have crossed, there is no way back. I'm gonna scoop your brain!
Learn how a people steeped in tradition have made their city a thriving modern metropolis.
It's the cop from hell!
And meet the individuals who have made hell the international hotspot it is today.
I am the Prince of Princes.
We've heard that story before, haven't we?
Highway to Hell. An unforgettable journey from Sovereign Pictures.
Now we'll have some fun.